Now that I've set up the playbook correctly, paralegal can easily run those rules both in the chat and also the playbooks and deliver to me a draft that I can then settle. That's where the magic is. That's where I can save a good 10 hours. There's a day saved easily. I've been practicing for about 30 years, and for the last 20, it's focused on contract work, contract negotiations, and as part of that, of course, reviewing contract, reviewing a document that we receive from the counterparty, and redlining that with comments, sending it back and negotiating. Most of that practice is focused on the pharmaceutical industry. Most of my clients, pharmaceutical distributors in Australia who buy drugs from manufacturers and brokers in other countries. We're getting supply contracts, license agreements, CDAs or NDAs from many of those countries, and we're using their templates. Much of my time is taken up reviewing these contracts. And I have to say, many are very poorly drafted. Saving time is critically important to me. And just a little bit of a backstory, I was working very hard in a busy practice, sometimes 7 days a week, which is not good. That's where Gavel Exec came in. I looked at a number, as most consumers of tech and attorneys in consumers of legal tech would do. One of those systems I was attracted to because I was told that would minimize the extent of the redraft. Gavel Exec delivered in spades on that promise, but also address the accuracy. It all comes down to how good your rule is, how good the prompt is. In my own practice, it might take me 15 hours to review the first cut of a contract, particularly coming from a counterparty. Now, the question is, how do I save that time with Gavel? The first way of doing it is simply through the chat functionality. What I do is direct it to redraft the contract so that it is in a contractual form. The first command is to redraft all obligations so that it's clear who is obliged to do something, what are they obliged to do, and by when. The playbook that I have for my in-licensing contracts have close to 80 rules in them now. And I'll then run through it. Now that I've set up the playbook correctly, paralegal can easily run those rules both in the chat and also the playbooks and deliver to me a draft that I can then settle. That's where the magic is. That's where I can save a good 10 hours. I can save all that time. And I then have a document that maybe I'll take 5 hours instead of 15. Well, there's a day saved easily. Look, all I can say is that it's the best system I've tried, and I've tried many. What I found beautiful with Gavel Exec is that it is eminently perfectible.